So what do you sound like when you have a tight lower back? What's up everybody, I'm Nathan Crane.
I'm Derek Crane.
And this is Tutorial Tuesday. So that pesky lower back, which should be your best friend, sometimes can feel like your worst enemy, right? Now I know majority of people end up experiencing back pain at some point in their life, especially if you're exercising and starting to lift heavy. Now this tutorial today is not for if you have chronic long-term back pain. We've actually created a back pain program. You can go to cranefactory.com, and that's a 12-week program specifically for helping that kind of back pain situation. Today's tutorial is mostly for if your back has inflamed, if it's gotten tight, if you've been working out and it just feels like one side is out or more inflamed than the other. This is a quick little 4 or 5 minutes or so you can do in that moment. You can do it a couple times a day even, that will help balance your lower back, will help align your hips, it will help align your spine, and it will definitely help give you a little bit of relief. Now if it's chronic or very acute, where you've got some pinching going on or nerve pinching, things like that, you may have to go a different route. But for today, if your back's tight, go ahead and try this. So the hamstrings and the calves are connected to your back. So one thing you want to do immediately is go right into a hamstring stretch. So go ahead and do this with us. We'll go down and just touch our toes, or go down as far as you can. Feel those hamstrings, loosen up, release your head and neck down to the floor. And take some deep breaths, 3 deep breaths in and out. Sink deeper on the out breath. 1 more big breath. Sink deeper into it. Open up those hamstrings. And go ahead and start rolling up, keeping your head down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head should be the last thing that comes up. And as your head comes up, go ahead and bring your arms overhead. And if you don't have any pinching in your back, go ahead and do a little light back bend. If that's too much, put your hands behind your back to support above your hips. And you can lean back into it even further. And we're gonna go down another time and touch our toes again. Again, releasing those hamstrings will help pull some of that tension off of your lower back. Go ahead and hold this for a couple deep breaths, in and out. And rolling back up 1 vertebrae at a time. Again, hands overhead or hands behind your back. A nice little back bend. And coming back to straight. Now go ahead and get on the floor. Get on a yoga mat, on your carpet, whatever you have, or a blanket. And next thing we want to do is lay down on our back. And we want to open up the hips. Again, your hips are directly attached to your lower back. All of this is attached all the way up. So bring your right foot, your right ankle, put it on top of your left knee. Go ahead and wrap your hands around your left leg and pull it in until you get a tight squeeze. Now the key here is to try to be pushing both sides of your lower back into the floor as you're pulling in your left leg, and be deep breaths during this process, taking deep breaths. And each time you're breathing out, go ahead and pull a little bit tighter, bring it in closer. Sometimes if the right side is more inflamed than the left, you might feel yourself leaning onto your right hip. That's fine. The key here is as you're pulling in deeper, you're trying to get both hips, both sides of your back down onto the ground. And do another couple deep breaths here on the left side, well, right side here. And also for that deeper stretch, push out your right knee with your right elbow and breathe into that deeply. And one more deep breath. Pull that in, open up that hip, release that energy, and go ahead and release and switch sides. Do the other side about the same, roughly about 30 seconds or so. And go ahead and pull that side in, same thing, pushing that lower back to the floor, pushing that left knee out with the left elbow, and pulling in deeper on each out breath. Great, go ahead on this last out breath, go ahead and release both legs out. Now we're gonna pull both legs up to the chest, wrap your arms around your knees, and go ahead and pull your knees in as tight as you can, and rock side to side slowly. You should feel your lower back being massaged. So we're gonna rock back and forth a few times on each side. Take some deep breaths while you're doing this and massage that lower back. That hip stretch already may have helped align your lower back if you had one side that was more inflamed than the other. If not, we'll keep going through these stretches, which you'll want to do them all the way to the end. Now go ahead and squeeze in tight and release your legs, and we're going to sit up. And as we sit up, now we're going to go ahead and do another hamstring stretch. We'll lean all the way forward, grab our toes, or as far forward as you can. And release your head. You should feel that stretching all the way from your hamstrings all the way up to your neck. And that's a good indication to show you in your own body how all of this musculature is connected. So on your out breath, go ahead and pull yourself in further with your hands and release your head down further to your knees, just relaxing your head and your back as much as you can. If this is really tight or really painful for you, just go into your breathing deeply and just go as far as you can without overdoing it. Take a few deep breaths here. Again, you can feel that whole backside lengthening and opening up. One more really deep breath in and out. And now we're going to roll. As you come back up, we're going to roll back onto our backs again and hug our knees into our chest and massage that lower back one more time. And remember, take some deep breaths. And go ahead and put your feet on the ground with your knees pointed to the ceiling, and we're going to do a couple pelvic raises or bridges, and go ahead and lift your pelvis to the ceiling and hold that for a couple of breaths. And back down and up again. We want to strengthen that core, which will also help release that lower back, and down, and one more up. Couple deep breaths there. And down, and we'll do one final lower back massage. Hug those knees in side to side. Perfect. Go ahead and come and sit up. So that's just a few minutes there. Derek, you said your back has been tight because you've been starting to lift a lot heavier. How do you feel already?
I already feel like as I was moving through it, there's some where it's like, oh yeah, okay, I got some tightness going on here, but then flowing through it, and now at the end of it, everything feels aligned. Everything feels much looser. Everything feels and now I'm excited to go and work out, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So again, something you can do quickly. If your back's still really tight after that, do some more of the hip stretches. That's what I find will really, the more you do that hip stretch, you really open up those hips and those hamstrings. Go through that whole thing again, another 4 or 5 minutes or so, and do that a couple times a day. If you're having ongoing back issues, take a look at our back pain program, cranefactor.com. That's really going to help you more long term. We do the core strengthening, we do a lot of the opening, we do some of these exercises, but Derek leads us through a lot more exercises that will really help strengthen, lengthen, open, and help you heal that lower back. So anyway, we appreciate you for tuning in to Tutorial Tuesday, and if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. Head over to Facebook page, check out Crane Factor there as well, and head over to cranefactor.com, and we'll talk to you in the next video.
Thank you guys. See you in the next video.
Take care.